Óige's Knockree hostel is located in County Wicklow in the southeast of Ireland. Just an hour from Dublin, Knockree hostel is ideally placed on the start or end of the popular hiking route, the Wicklow Way.
An 18th century farmhouse, the original hostel opened in 1938 and was one of the first opened by Óige. Sitting in the Knockree Valley, the hostel commands a view of Molan Mountain to the southeast and the Sugarloaf Mountain to the east. The hostel was redeveloped in 2008 as a 74-bed hostel with the original farmhouse incorporated into the design.
The conservation group was set up by 8 Óige members 10 years ago at our Glenmalure hostel. They were formed in response to illegal dumping around Glenmalure Valley, and with the help of a new hostel manager, this was stopped. The group remained together, however. The main aim of the conservation group is to make both guests and members of Óige aware of the importance of environmental issues near our hostels. They have expanded their work from around Glenmalure to all Óige-run hostels and are responsible for the introduction of proper waste management systems within the network. They continue to support and encourage sustainability across the network. While they are members of Óige, these people are also volunteers who give their time freely to support Óige and its ethos of preserving the natural world for future generations.
After their work at Glenmalure, the group turned to Knockree, which had also suffered due to illegal dumping and little to no land management. The hostel is a small part of a 26.9 hectare site, most of which is open to hostelers and members of the public. It is also home to 15 different types of habitat, including EU Directive Annex 1 habitats. While the site has a large covering of dense bracken, it has a wide variety of plant and animal species, including trees such as oak and alder, as well as badgers, common lizards and hen harriers.
Despite a complete lack of experience, the group began applying for government grants to help preserve Knockree's habitats. The grant application process began in 2007, and the group were approved for their first grant by the Heritage Council in 2009. As a result of this funding, the group could plant native sessile oak trees on site. The site is now part of both the Native Woodland Scheme and the Family Tree Promotion with the Tree Council of Ireland.
With successful grant applications under their belt, the group focused further on the conservation and recovery of the Knockree area. The original plan was to increase cleanups around the site while also beginning other work to help preserve the area. Such was the size of the project that the group agreed that they could not achieve their aims without professional help.
Having gained experience in grant applications, the volunteers secured funding to employ BEC Consultants Limited. Their brief was to study the environment around Knockree and identify the species, native and introduced, historical sites, habitats and threats facing the area. Once completed, they would provide the group with methods for preserving this area. After extensive research, BEC produced the Knockree Nature Conservation Management Plan. If you wish to see a copy of this tome, you can contact Óige directly and take a few days off to read it.
The management plan identified numerous issues within the site. As expected, the presence of non-native or introduced species of plant and tree is a huge issue. The removal of dense bracken, which dominates the site, was earmarked as a major factor in the management of the site. The same is true of all non-native scrubs, along with the gaps and damage to hedgerows. Sadly, damage to the land from public use was also seen as a major factor to consider. The reduction of informal paths, as well as reducing some access to the riverbank, would help increase tree regrowth and riverbank regeneration.
With all the problems identified in the plan, there were, thankfully, solutions to them too. Many are quite labour intensive, and by their nature will take a number of years to complete. This includes the removal of dense bracken and the reduction of scrub species. The planting of trees is also, quite obviously, a long-term solution to some issues, including riverbank erosion.
Some simple solutions were also identified. The first is the erection of deer fencing. This would stop deer from browsing around the native stands of trees and allow for natural regeneration within the woodland. Closing gaps in hedgerows, along with regular maintenance, will help promote biodiversity of plants and bird species in particular. The removal of non-native trees will be done via tree barking, and the dead trees will be left on site to promote invertebrate diversity.
The planners also recommended that the area be used as an education centre. As an area of mostly native wood and grassland, Óige have the opportunity to educate guests about the natural world in a natural environment.
With the plan complete, the only thing left to do is enact it. Easier said than done. Despite the daunting nature of this plan, the volunteers have continued to show a huge level of commitment and passion for the area. The conservation group has already started work organising bracken trampling sessions for members of Óige and our guests. Resourcing materials needed to protect the area is an ongoing mission of the group. These include cameras to catch illegal dumpers and funding for the installation of deer fences.
As recommended by the plan, the Conservation Group and Óige staff have begun work to turn Knockree Hostel into an educational hub. The Conservation Group have begun to organise and host talks at the hostel, most recently inviting Bat Conservation Ireland to present a talk and train people in bat detection. The group are hoping to recruit students from Dublin universities to take the lead in the animal surveys, while also working towards the removal of non-native species. Our programmes coordinator has produced a series of wildlife posters for the network to encourage a love and interest for wildlife in all our guests. A further line of native tree posters is being developed. Work has also begun on an ecology fieldwork course for second level students who visit Knockree. These resources can be distributed for free to our guests, as is currently the case with our posters.
Over the next 5 years, the Conservation Group and Óige hope that they can use Knockree as a standard bearer for self-led eco-education in Ireland. This is also an excellent example of passionate volunteers leading a project while being supported by staff. Without the hard work of the volunteers, we would be in danger of losing an excellent chance to highlight the natural beauty of Ireland. Pictures paint 1,000 words, but nothing beats going there.